Hello, everybody, and welcome to Early Access Podcast, Episode 15. I am your host, Angelo, and I almost missed this one. I literally got ready for bed, and I was just like, oh, shit. It's Thursday already, and I need to put out a podcast. I apologize. I was up reviewing games all day, and I completely forgot that I needed to do this. So this is going to be relatively short because it's late, and I really need to get to bed. I had a long day today. I reviewed a couple games that are going to be coming out over the next couple days. So I'm just going to jump into what I've been playing. So what I've been playing is the first game I got my hands on, my grubby little hands on this week, is called Keebles. Now, Keebles is a physics-based puzzle game. Basically what happens is you have a little car and wheels and connectors, and you need to build a vehicle that follows a track using different abilities to collect the Keebles on the way to the end of the map. Think of it as a more interactive Angry Birds. So like you can complete the map without collecting all 3 Keebles, but ideally you want to grab all 3 and get to the end as quickly as possible, collect all the stars kind of thing. The one thing is the game kind of looks like it was meant to be an iOS game, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. So it's really intuitive, though. It's a fun puzzle game. The intro song is amazing. I mentioned that in the written review. I find it hilarious. I had a great time with it. Totally worth checking out. It's only $8 on Steam right now, and if you like hard puzzle games, it's a great one to pick up. This game is not in early access. Just pointing that out there. It's not in early access. It's a complete game. Totally worth it. You'll get your money's worth out of it. It's fun. It's different. It's cute. The music's great. It's hard. It's very hard. The only reason, like I think I played up until the 5th level. And the only reason I did as well as I did is because one of the developers came into the stream and was watching me stream it and was giving me pointers. I mean, shh, don't tell anyone. But yeah, that's the only reason I got through the 5th level. He gave me a couple pointers, which I had kind of already figured out, but I just couldn't figure out the exact timing on everything. But it's a lot of fun. I have a video up on the website and on the YouTube page at Early Access Podcast on YouTube. And it's a really fun game. I would totally recommend checking it out. All right, the other game, I had mentioned this game last week, the last podcast, and I got my hands on it and finally sat down and played it, and it's called Rampage Knights. Now, Rampage Knights is $9 on Steam. This game is in early access, however, and it's a co-op side-scrolling brawler. It's very hard. I had trouble. The controls felt kind of wonky to me. However, once I got a hang of it, it was a lot of fun. You pick your character class. There's a little customization so far. You can pick a different head and different hats. There's several different classes that you can choose from, an adventurer, which has no special abilities, and then there's I think it's an assassin, and the assassin has, a little less health, but does more damage, has the ability to instantly kill downed enemies, which is perfectly fine with me. Let's see. Hold on one second. Trying to think of the other classes in it. There's other couple classes in it. One's some of them have different weapons that they start with, and it's a little bit slower to get off the swings with it and everything. However, it's a lot of fun. Cartoony style game, but it's a side-scrolling adventure game. I feel like it wants to be a roguelike, but it's not. I could only get a couple levels in before dying. I feel like it needs more roguelike stuff when you die, so you can make yourself a little bit more powerful to help you along. I think that might be coming. There's a couple things in the beginning when you're changing your head and your hat and everything that doesn't come up. It's like still in progress and everything like that. So I think that's their goal further down the line. Time will tell. This game's only been out for a few days now, so don't really know what's coming up with that. All right, so let's talk about new releases. So I grabbed like 4 games that came out in the past couple days. I've talked about all of these except for one in previous podcasts. But if this is your first podcast, welcome, and I will run them down for you real quick. So the first game is KeeperRL, and this is a dungeon sim roguelike RPG-ish game. It's top-down, and it's a pixel art game, and you control everything from a top-down mode. And it says you pick and equip your minions, and you can explore the world, and you have a bunch of RPG stuff that you can do, and you build your own dungeon and traps and wait for other people trying to attack you. I feel like it's a single player version of like Dungeon Keeper, which was my thoughts on it the first time I saw it. So it's got 24 reviews, 87% positive, which is pretty good. It's 15% off right now on Steam, so it's $12.74, which is acceptable price point. I haven't picked it up yet. I want to take a look at it because I a lot of fun. I love the pixel art style. So I feel like if you like that kind of game, if you like Dungeon Keeper and you like weird combo games, like stuff that takes a little bit of elements from everything, I would go check it out. I don't know if I'd pick it up yet, but I would go watch some videos and everything and see if it's something that you'd be into. All right, next game is, I spoke about this a couple weeks back. It says it's not out. See, this is another one of those games where it's like, oh, it came out and then it's not. So this is supposed to come out in May now. It's got 276 reviews. I could have swore it was released, but it wasn't. So it's the BeamNG.Drive racing game. Now it's saying May. It's 98% positive, but all these reviews are from last year. So we're just gonna skip that one. My bad. I thought it came out. I guess I was wrong. All right. The next game that came out is called Kingdom Wars 2 Battles. Now this is a sequel to Kingdom Wars. It is $16.99 on Steam. It's in early access. It just came out a few days ago. It's 88% with 27 reviews positive. It's a crafting card game, real-time fantasy strategy game. Seems like a lot. I believe this is the one that I said has like multiplayer. Yeah, this has got some kind of weird multiplayer MMO skirmish mode, which seems weird to me. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I would love to find out. It's one of those games where you're just like, they throw a bunch of stuff at you, and you're like, I don't know what this does, I don't know what this means, and you're like, meh, and hope it works into something that's actually playable. I'm not too sure. I haven't played it yet. I want to pick it up. Maybe I'll pick it up this weekend and I'll get it out sometime next week. Get a review out for it. But it takes a lot of RPG elements and a lot of real-time strategy stuff and puts it in a fantasy theme and somehow integrates MMO like stuff into it. I'm not sure. But yeah, that came out. All right, so the last game I got for you guys for new releases is this game called Nevermind. Now, this one went under the radar for me, and it's got 11 reviews. It's 100% positive, and it is $25, which is a lot, which is, I think, why it only has 11 reviews right now. And they're all positive because the people that bought this game are looking for this kind of game. So I watched the videos. It intrigues me. I may pick it up for $25 unless I hear back from the developer before then. It's it's a story game. Like from watching the videos, it's a first-person horror, trippy ass game. I don't know. Like you go watch the video on Steam. The link will be in the show notes. It's a very trippy, weird fucking game. I don't know how else to explain it. It looks really good though. However, I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be. Apparently, it's been in development for 8 months. They're really early on in the development though. However, it looks really cool. I don't know. It's just like this weird, trippy horror thing. I'll read the description. It says, Nevermind ushers you into dark and surreal worlds within the minds of trauma victims. When played with an optional biofeedback sensor, which I didn't know, Nevermind senses your fear, lashing out if you allow your feelings of anxiety to get the better of you. Can you brave the terrors within Nevermind and yourself? I don't know what it means by the optional biofeedback sensor. I'm going to look into that more, and I will get back to you guys Monday on the next episode. But it sounds really awesome. I would check it out and like do a little research into it and see if it's something that you'd be into, because it sounds awesome. All right, so let's get into updates. A few games have been updated this week, over the past couple days. I pulled a couple games that I've played, and then I picked one that I didn't. So I'll start with that one, and it's a game called Distant Star Revenant Fleet. Now, this game came out December of last year. It's 46 reviews, 73% positive. It's $19.99 on Steam. It's in early access, and they are on version 0.1.3.6, so it's pretty early on in the development. And it says it's a real-time space strategy game with roguelike elements. I like the way that sounds. I like roguelike games. I think most people do. And it's a space game. Everybody likes space games. So they recently pushed out a big hot fix. I guess they were having problems with some of the story events not working properly. So I just wanted to point that out. You know, it's a game that I haven't talked about yet, and they updated recently, so I wanted to make sure I got that out there. All right, the next game is one that I played the last show, which is called Ubermosh. Now, Ubermosh was that bullet hell. It's the bullet hell twin stick arcade shooter, where it's really early on, but it's just a solid game. It's a lot of fun. And it was super cheap. Yeah, it's $1.79 now. It's 10% off. So totally worth it. They recently redid some of the map, new terrain textures. They fixed some of the enemy AI and the respawn system, so it's a little bit better. For a game that costs $2, and they're making updates that they don't really need to do. I think that's awesome. So I would go check that out. All right. The last game I wanted to bring up was the one I shit all over, Quest Event. I just want to point out that it's still not playable. They put out an update, though, the other day and added new intro music, some lighting effects, fixed some of the text, and removed the 1-hour timer that I complained about. Now it just shows a message. That's it. That's all they've done in the last few days. It is one guy, but that's not a lot of anything. And it's shitty. And the community agrees, because currently my review has, 433 people have voted on it. And it's a 97% helpful, with 418 of those people finding it helpful and 32 people finding it funny. So, 400 people plus, and then there's 21 comments, and no one's disagreeing with me. So, and I keep putting it out there, and every time somebody shits on the developer, I have to point out the fact that I would love to see him put out a game that's worth everybody's time. But, with these kind of updates and the lack of communication and deleting comments and concerns off of the the discussion board and the forums. It doesn't look good on him. So, you know, hopefully I'm wrong, and he comes around to make a good game for everybody. So the last game I'm going to point out is what's coming up. Now, this game is coming out April 9th, so in about a week from today. It's actually it'll be exactly a week. This is called Sovereignty Crown of Kings. Now, this is a board. It looks like a board game to me in all actuality. You know, no price point yet. It says, assume the leadership of one of the lands of sovereignty and guide your people to glory and prosperity. By wisely combining soft and hard power, you can eventually hope to reign over the whole land. None of this makes any sense. It looks like a fantasy version of Risk, which I'm okay with. If they do a good job with it, I'm okay with a fantasy version of Risk. I think everybody likes Risk that much. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. It's going to be live. Well, it says today it was live. I missed it. But if you go look it up on Twitch, I'm sure they recorded it and it's up there. It's Sovereignty Crown of Kings. I'll give you the Twitch name here. It's the Slytherin group. So that's Slytherin or Slytherin. Let's see, did they record it? Yeah, they did record it, and it also it only had 42 views. I guess no one was really that interested. But if you go to their Twitch stream, there's a bunch of videos up of this game already, so you can get a good idea of what it's all about. No price point yet, nothing that I've seen. And it's set for April 9th, so it'll be out in a week and 19 hours. So that's good. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to check out earlyaccesspodcast.com and Early Access Podcast on YouTube. Go follow us on Twitter at Early Access PC. Like us on Facebook at Early Access Podcasts. Check out the Patreon. Support the show through Patreon if that's something that you'd be into. Subscribe to the YouTube. I don't know if I said that already. And also, if you go to the website, click through the Amazon banner if you're going to buy anything on Amazon. And it gives me a little kickback, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, and it helps out the show. But thanks for coming, guys, and listening. I will see you guys on Thursday, hopefully with a lot more games played and a lot more information. There's a lot of games coming out over the next couple days. I have a bunch more reviews coming up, and I'm excited to talk about them on the next show as well. So until then, I will see you guys on Thursday. Have a good night.